Well, this Friday, the 3rd of the month, I'm being hauled in court again. And this time they're going to, the judge will be prohibiting me from ever visiting Joanne Kemper again. And now I'm predicting that her decision, excuse me here, because evil is very easy to predict. Evil beget evil. That the new petition also is going to require me to pay attorney fees to Charles Isley to the tune of over $8,000. Now, again, I don't find that surprising. He double billed Joanne Kemper, highly illegal, I should say, I might add. And it was, he did it in going by the back door by putting it in as an exhibit. Exhibit A and Exhibit B. And I won't go into great detail on that. I'll let the Bar Association decide what's going to happen with that. But in this court coming up, I'm going to plead guilty because I am guilty of being a born-again Christian. I'm guilty of having love in my heart. So you could say they got me there. Now, they don't follow any laws. They just pick and choose what they want. But, and they're hypocrites. Now, Stacy Bollinger, she likes to prey on or pick and choose the liars and thieves. It's been established that Carla Mauger embezzled $45,000 from her mother. I consider that a thief. Charles Isley double billed Joanne Kemper for services that weren't even to the benefit of Joanne Kemper. But I consider that being a thief. Stacy Bollinger, she claims that I instilled in Joanne's mind that she's in a jailhouse. That's a lie. I can prove that's not true. It is Joanne Kemper who has repeatedly told me I feel like I'm in jail. Well, I'm here to tell you that Stacy Bollinger has placed Joanne Kemper in jail. by isolating her from the outside world, by keeping her from getting any spiritual aid, keeping the phones away from her, keeping her mail away from her. Stacy Bollinger accused me of trying to sneak in a refrigerator to her current adult care facility, and along with food items. The food items happen to be grape juice and orange pineapple juice, and applesauce. But she didn't mention the fact that I was also included in there 2-ply toilet paper, because what they serviced at that facility was more on the order of sandpaper than anything else. I also included facial tissue, Kleenex. She didn't mention that. And she didn't mention the fact that before I brought the items up there, I called the facility and asked if it was okay. And they said they had no problem with it. Now keep in mind, I've learned to protect myself by recording my phone calls. I had a phone call with Joanne while she was in her apartment. I asked her if she ever received my letters, and she said no. And I said, well, look, have you received any mail from anybody else? She says, no, she hasn't got any mail around here. I said, do you have those magazines I brought you? Crossword puzzles, coloring books. She said, no, the only thing she had was old Reader's Digest. Well, it's a federal crime to withhold mail. And I have filed a complaint in that respect, because 3 ladies I trust and know told me they sent pictures. Now, these are entertainers, and Joanne knows who they are because she knows when I worked with them. But they sent pictures to brighten up her apartment. They were withheld. So the notice I got from the postal inspectors was I would not hear from them unless they needed additional information. Now, I just got that email today, so we'll see how their investigation comes out on that. There's a whole lot of questions that have got to be answered, and they will not be answered through any judicial system of Clark County. Now, I got problem wondering what's going to happen to my information. I mean, I know people get tired of my ugly face in the screen and my beating the same drum over and over. But I didn't know how to handle that. Well, Here's the book I rely on a lot, and I rely on my conversations with Jesus. And I talk to him several times a day, and he answers me. Oh, it's not a voice, booming voice coming out of the sky. But when I'm sitting there meditating, the answer will come to me. And Jesus introduced me to a man that I never met personally or never will meet. But he's telling me that this is my answer. The man's name is Charlie Kirk. Now, he was assassinated, as most people know, not too long ago in Utah. But he left behind an organization that has grown tremendously since that terrible day. And they vow they're going to keep the association alive. And that the primary goal is cleaning up the corruption in the government, and also expanding the knowledge of Christ to the youth. Well, that fits in both of my situations. So I decided that's where route I'd take. Now, I have all my records put on thumb drives, and it's amazing how much information you can get in this little tool here. But I have packets of these, all my records, all the lies that were told to the court, all the evil decisions that were made to keep Joanne Kemper and I apart. I filed a petition with Judge Snyder to replace Stacy Bollinger. And she said she wouldn't do that. Well, there was another case. It was Vic Hoffman, who was assigned to Stacy Bollinger. And on October 18th, 2016, let me just read this news report. Today, the court, Vic was freed. Let me start that again. Today in court, Vic was freed from bondage and given back to his family. Vic's son won guardianship over his father, and he'll soon be reunited and return to his life with Barbara. Barbara's his wife. When Vic was told, he broke down in tears. Now, much has been said by Stacy Bollinger that I compare the facility that Joanne's currently residing in to a jail. And it is, in a lot of respects. And she says that when I go visit her, Joanne gets all upset afterwards. And that doesn't happen when her daughter Carla Mager visits her. Well, the reason she gets upset is because we're apart. The reason she doesn't get upset with her daughter Carla is because she never wanted Carla to control her life, even though Carla forced it through Stacy Bollinger. So you go to the facility and you see people with blank stares in their eyes. That's the difference between that facility and jail. In jail, the inmates have showing some kind of emotion, but there's nothing. I was there when a relative for one of the residents was throwing some kind of a party for him and brought in some cupcakes. And one nice gentleman went out in the hallway, and their lady was sitting there in her wheelchair. And he offered her a cupcake. And she looked at it without any emotion, not of pleasure or disgust. So you tell me the good they do with her. I try to bring things to Joanne that keeps her mind occupied. The facility, pretty much keeps her isolated. Now, you can be isolated in a crowd. So the courts, according to Stacy Bollinger, claims I violated the court order. No. Stacy Bollinger violated this court order. Stacy Bollinger told the facility, when I called there and they said Joanne was not available to talk on the phone, I said I'd call back later. And when I called back later, the employee said that my earlier call counted as my one call a week, and so I'd have to wait till next week to try again. Now keep in mind, I record my calls. I can prove it. They can't. They talk hearsay. I talk solid evidence. And most of it's from their own records, their own mouth. And these packets that I'm sending out includes the video of all my court trials related to keeping me away from Joan Kemper, keeping us separated. And any fool can see That's exactly what they're doing to Joanne and me. So, like I said, I'm going to be owing another $8,000 at come after Friday, because I'm certain that Judge Snyder will say, boom, rubber stamp it. Okay. If it's for the benefit of Stacy Bollinger, we got to approve it. Nothing is approved for the benefit of Joanne Kemper. So, next week, I'll give you the results of my trial. Later, bye.
Let me walk a little closer to you, Jesus. Let me see what I must see, precious Jesus. Let me live my life for you. Let me live for others too. Can I walk a little closer to you, Jesus? Let my life be one of joy for you, Jesus. Though sometimes it runs ashore, I know, Jesus, but I know that you'll be there to ease the pain I bear. Can I walk a little closer to you, let me walk a little closer to you, Jesus. Let me see what I must see, precious Jesus. Let me live my life for you. Let me live for others too. Can I walk a little closer to you, Jesus? Let me walk a little closer to you, Jesus. Let me see what I must see, precious Jesus. Let me live my life for you. Let me live for others too. A little closer to you, Jesus. Let me live my life for you. Let me live for others too. Can I walk a little closer to you, Jesus? Can I walk a little closer